If you think Sephora or Ulta isn't picking up your beauty brand because you're too small, that's not the reason. I've supported beauty brands preparing for Sephora and Ulta and helping them stay there once they're in. And what buyers actually look for is very different from what founders focus on. And I break it down in this video. When preparing to pitch buyers, beauty founders tend to focus on packaging, product, and social proof. And while these are important and critical pillars of any brand, buyers are evaluating something else entirely. They're looking for differentiation, demand, and scalability. Here's a core insight. Retail doesn't reward potential, it rewards readiness. Here are the most prominent factors buyers evaluate when considering your brand. I'll share 6. Clear positioning, category alignment, hero product and pipeline strategy, perceived value and pricing, proof of demand, and operational readiness. Number 1, clear positioning. If buyers can't understand your brand in 10 seconds, it's usually a no with very few exceptions. The brand needs to unequivocally define who's it for, what it does, and why it wins. Number 2, category alignment. This is where brands complicate things. Buyers aren't just evaluating your brand, they're evaluating your brand's role within the context of the category. So before anything else, it's important to map the category, what's trending by way of ingredients, formats, and use cases, and what's already in the buyer's consideration set. If your brand looks interchangeable within the context of the category in that given moment in time, it won't likely make the short list. Number 3, hero product and pipeline strategy. The strongest brands don't show up in every category. Instead, they niche down and build a clear entry point into the brand and category. That becomes your hero product, and then you build a pipeline strategy around it. Not a broad assortment, not a solution for every consumer need, but a clear intentional lane. Number 4, pricing and perceived value. This is the layer that gets overlooked the most. Buyers are mapping you against the category, not just by product, but by pricing and perceived value. Where you sit and how you ladder your pricing signals how premium, effective, and differentiated you actually are. If your pricing just matches the market, you blend in. If it's intentional, it positions you. As an example, if you sell shampoo, conditioner, and a detangling spray, the conditioner can command a higher price point versus the shampoo because it signals a higher perceived value given its use case. Meanwhile, the detangling spray can be positioned as your hero product versus the shampoo and conditioner unless they're highly differentiated. Number 5, proof of demand. Not just followers, but actual conversion. Sell through repeat purchase, real, measurable, repeatable traction. Number 6, operational readiness. Can your operations actually support retail? Healthy margins, inventory volume, and fulfillment infrastructure. These are the most prominent factors buyers evaluate when considering your brand, so be sure to position your brand strategically. As another layer, consider positioning your brand for beauty accelerators because it's a viable entry point once you've had early traction. The retail accelerator programs at Sephora and Ulta can help open doors, but it's important to note that these programs are no shortcuts. These programs are still looking for the same signals: differentiation, demand, and scalability. So the foundational alignment remains the same. It's worth noting that even after all of the strategic alignment, some brands still don't get selected the first time around. And as disappointing as this can be, that's not failure, it's opportunity. If you've checked all the boxes and still didn't make the cut, it often comes down to the other brands that were in the buyer's consideration set. However, it's encouraging to note that if a buyer sees potential in your brand, they'll often invite you to pitch again at the next opportunity. So, what can you do in the interim? Strengthen your hero product strategy, increase demand, elevate your social proof around visible transformation, revisit your pipeline strategy against market trends, elevate your operational readiness, refine any brand values you may use in your positioning around inclusivity, accessibility, or clean beauty. Here's a core insight: buyers don't reward brand values alone. They reward how those values translate into demand. So be sure to revisit your marketing copy, your visuals, your verbiage. For example, if you position your brand as inclusive, yet your visuals only show one demographic, then that's a mismatch. That's something to revisit and refine. This is how strong brands come back even stronger the second time around, and this will definitely stand out to buyers. If your goal is to be on shelf at Sephora or Ulta, the question isn't, are you ready to pitch? It's, are you ready to scale? If you want to understand where your beauty brand stands, start with the Indie Beauty Growth Audit. It'll show you what's working, what's not, and where to focus next. It's linked in the description. I share weekly content similar to this for indie beauty founders and support teams. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. Thank you and see you in the next.